sing the prayer? Have you? It's incredible, just amazing. Italian. I think is that Italian? I'm not sure, but it's just fantastic. Why does Adrian Panganiban have a fantastic voice? Well, because at the age of 4, he started singing already on TV. By the time he was a teenager, he was already a teen idol. He joined Apat na Sikat. If you were of that era, you would remember these names: Lala Honor, Winnie Santos, the sister of Vilma, okay, Arnold Gamboa, Don Nakar, and Adrian was part of that. And now Adrian was telling me that during that time, at the height of that whole singing group, they would perform concerts every single day. It's like they would go to this town, go up on stage, sing, perform, dance, whatever, and then escape, ride the bus, sleep in the bus. By the time they arrive, another concert. And then they ride the bus, ride a plane, sleep on the plane. By the time they arrive, another concert. Back-to-back concerts. Brothers and sisters, Adrian Panganiban has logged in 10,000 hours of performing. Today, he still does concerts, but Adrian Panganiban, being my friend, I know this. He no longer sees himself as the star. He sees himself as a servant of the great star. The great star that we worship, Jesus. And Adrian is leading worship and preaching, using all that he has learned in his 10,000 hours. The other guy I want to share with you is someone you also know, George Gabriel. And I see myself in George. I see similarities between George and myself. Aside, of course, from the looks, and I mean that's a given, let's not even go there, but I'm just kidding. George gave his life to God. You know how old? Ask me how old? 12 years old. And you know that I gave my life when I was 12. And when he was 12, George said, I'm going to serve God. And he sang, he played the drums in the music ministry, he was a percussionist, he was a worship leader, he even became a theater actor. Did you know that? George Gabriel, your George, my George, the guy who leads the feast in Valle Verde Country Club now every Sunday. Fantastic worship leader, fantastic speaker, was a theater actor for many years. And he would tell me that whenever there was a play, and he was supposed to be the lead role of the play, I remember watching him in Little Mermaid. No, he was not the Little Mermaid. No, he was the prince of the Little Mermaid. And he was the lead role. He was telling me that they would have 2 shows every day. 2 shows, Monday to Saturday. Amazing. How many hours? 10,000 hours as a theater actor, as a singer, as a performer. Today, he's no longer a theater actor. He is a preacher. But all the skills of a theater actor, all the skills of a singer, all the skills of a performer, bringing it out to communicate the love of God. Everybody say this: 10,000 are rule of greatness. Can you say that, please? 10,000 are rule of greatness. You can apply this rule in any area of your life. How many of you want to have a great family? Raise your hand. You want that? Ask me how. Give 10,000 hours to family life. You want to have a great marriage? Parang hindi, ano? One more time. Do you want to have a great marriage? Yes. Then give 10,000 hours in building that marriage. My problem is this: when I see couples, alam nyo to bago kinasal, before the wedding, my gosh, you have to pry those boyfriend and girlfriend away from each other. They spend hours together, their arms around each other. They talk, they hang out, and then when they separate from each other, they call each other up, they text each other. It's amazing. They're inseparable. But the moment the wedding happens, I don't know what happens. Suddenly no more dates, no more hanging out, no more squeezing of the hand, no more hugs, no more. And that's terrible, because if you want a great marriage, You spend time. Tell someone beside you, spend time. Spend time with that relationship. You have to. Same with kids. How many of you have got kids? Spend time. Do you want, I'm asking you this question, parents, do you want to unlock the greatness of your children? Spend time. 30 years in ministry. 30 years listening, talking, praying with parents whose kids are in trouble. Brother Bo, my son, he's taking drugs. Brother Bo, my daughter, she's pregnant. Brother Bo, my children have no direction. Brother Bo, 30 years I've been listening to people, to parents. And please forgive me when I say this next line, because it's very simplistic, and please forgive me, please bear with me. But this is my observation for the past 30 years of talking to parents with troubled kids. Are you listening to me? Are you ready to what I'm going to say? Usually, kids are in trouble. Everybody say usually. When I say that word, I'm not saying everyone, okay? But just usually. Kids are in trouble because parents didn't spend enough time with their kids. Usually. You may be an exception, and if you're an exception, I'm sorry, because there are exceptions. But usually. 2 days ago, I came home very exhausted. So tired. And I arrived home and I told my kids, I told my wife, I think I need to sleep early. I am so tired. And so I washed up, went upstairs, went to the bedroom, lay down, and slept. A few minutes after, I woke up because there was this little feet stepping on top of me. My youngest son, 5 years old, his name is Francis, he wanted to play. He wanted to play the trampoline. But in his mind, I was the trampoline. My body stretched on the bed. He would step on me, he would jump on me, he would walk on me. And a part of me wanted to tell him, Francis, Daddy is tired. Let's do this some other time. I wanted to tell him that. But I could not let the words leave my lips. I could not. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, my gosh, one day will come and my son would not want to play with me anymore. A day will come when he will grow up and he will not be able to step on me and jump on me. I hope he won't. But that day will come. Am I right? And so I told myself, lying down on bed while he was stepping on my back, my shoulders, my head, jumping on me and laughing, I was telling myself, I'm going to enjoy and I'm going to relish and I'm going to embrace every moment I have with my son, because that time is precious and it will go away one day. Friends, I have said no to my kids when they ask for toys. And I have said no to my kids when they ask for junk food. I have said no to my kids when they have asked for gadgets. But I have never said no when my kids asked for my time. In the past years that I have been a father, as I recall, never said no. Never. Give 10,000 hours to your kids. and you will unlock their greatness. You will. I want to move on to another area of your life, your spiritual life. Do you want to grow in your relationship with God? Do you want to grow in your faith? Do you want to grow in your spiritual life? Give 10,000 hours. And I don't want to complicate things. I want to just keep it very simple. 2, 3 things. Number 1, give 10 minutes every day to connect to God. Use your prayer language. Whatever prayer language you have, whether it's worshiping God, singing songs, or listening to worship music, or walking around the house in the village praying. Or I don't know what your prayer language is, but use it to connect to God. But I will recommend that you read the Bible. Tell someone beside you, read the Bible every day. And if you don't know how to read the Bible, or what to read, or where to begin, this is what you do. You go to the lobby, there's a book table there, grab a didache, a Sabbath, or a companion, and it will guide you what to read every day. I heard, this is a rumor, that the publisher of didache, Sabbath, and companion, really fantastic guy, really wonderful. So just the writers there are fantastic, really, really wonderful people. Grab that, use that, bless yourself. Here's number 2. Everybody say, number 2. Give 10,000 hours to God. How? Ask me how. Here's number 2. Put God first every Sunday. Put God first every Sunday. Be here at the feast. And be nourished and be blessed. Make it a non-negotiable item in your calendar. No more debates, no more arguments, no more, should I go, should I not? No. Be here. Put God first. And then you will find yourself giving 10,000 hours in your spiritual life. Do I hear an amen? Let me end my talk by sharing with you an old experience I had. When I was a teenager, I received a call from a distraught woman. She said, Brother Bo, I don't know how old I was, 17, 18, I'm not sure. But she said, Brother Bo, please pray over my husband. He's a doctor, but he's a dying man. He's got cancer. Can you pray over him? And I said, sure. I said, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Your husband will be my Valentine's date. And the next day, I went to their house, huge house. Probably a very successful doctor, I told myself. When I entered through the door in the living room there, 60, 61, salt and pepper hair, wearing his pajamas, was the doctor. If I recall, his name was Dr. Ben. I approached him, and immediately I had this sense that this doctor was a powerful man just a few months ago. Strong and wealthy and successful, in control. But then I saw him lying down in the couch, totally dependent on others. And I said, Dr. Ben, before I pray over you, can you tell me your story? And he said, Brother Bo, 8 months ago, my doctors discovered the cancer in me. And they gave me 6 months to live. 8 months ago, 6 months to live. I'm living in an extension time. And he said, when I found out I had cancer, I woke up spiritually. Suddenly I wanted to pray, and suddenly I went to church, and when I found out I had cancer, I started joining my wife to the prayer meeting, and I wanted to do so many things for God. I realized that for the past 60 years I've been living a selfish life, and now I want to love God and live my life for God. But then that's when a tear escaped his eye, and he began to cry, and he could no longer speak to me. He just sobbed and sobbed. And he said, after a little while, he said, Brother Bo, after a while, I had to go home. Pain was racking my body. I felt so weak, I could not stand up anymore. I wanted to go there and pray. I wanted to go to the prayer meeting. I wanted to serve God, and I could not. There are times I'm lying down in bed, I'm staring at the ceiling, and I'm saying, Lord, I want to love you, I want to serve you, but I can't even stand up from this bed. I felt so much pain in my heart for him. And then he said these words. He said, Brother Bo, please pray that God would give me a little bit more time. Please pray. I'm not asking for 10 years. I'm not asking for 5 years. I'm just asking for a little bit more time so that I can serve my God. I prayed for him. After praying over him, I went home. I was a teenager. And I remember arriving home, I knelt down in my bedroom and I said, God, I don't want to be like that doctor. I don't want to have regrets when I'm old. Right now, while I'm young, I want to serve you. I want to give my time and my life to you. My dear friends, I've been true to that prayer. All my life, I've given my time to God. And I want you to make that choice today. Do you want to have regrets when you grow old? No. Here's what you do. Everybody say choice. Every moment that God gives you, every day that God gives you, every week, every month that God gives you, you have a choice. Say that more time. Choice. Here's your choice. Dr. Ben, for 60 years, got the time and threw it away. He got the time and he threw it away. 60 years, threw it away. Threw it away. Threw it away. Here's your second choice. You don't have to do that. This is what you can do. Instead of throwing away, you get your time, your day, your minute, your hour, your week, and you plant it. You plant your time. And you make a tree. You make a tree. When you give your time to God, you plant a seed in heaven. And that time becomes eternity. That tree will grow up and bear more seeds. In each second is eternity. You get your time and you plant. Every time you love someone, you plant in heaven. Every time you say, Lord, I will serve you, and you actually serve him, you plant a tree in heaven. Are you ready from now on to start using your time to plant seeds in the kingdom of heaven? Are you ready? Do you want to say a prayer with me today that from now on, while you have breath, you will be for the King? Are you ready? I don't want you to say this prayer just because it's the closing prayer, just because you attend the feast and you're familiar with the prayer. And no. I'm asking you this question, and you have to say this before your God. Are you willing to live for God? Whatever remaining Sundays you've got, you're going to say, Lord, this is for you. I'm going to live my life for you. Are you willing to do that? If you are, we're going to sing a song. It's an old song that I wrote many years ago. While I have breath, I will live for you, my King. Now, you stay seated, because what I want you to do is, while we sing this song, when you feel that urging of the Spirit, when you feel the call of God to lay down your life for God until you are called home in heaven, you want to say, Lord, I consecrate my time to you every moment, every second, every minute, every hour. And you're going to sing this song with all your heart. Amen. Let's sing, Mike. At any time during this song, you kneel down. Middle of the song, start of the song, at the end of the song, you kneel down. On your knees, you say, Lord, I give my life to you. While I have breath, I will be for you. Don't kneel down because your seatmate knelt down. Don't kneel down because everybody is kneeling down. No, you kneel down because you want to kneel down. And you want to give your life to God. While I have breath,
while I have life, I will be for you, my King. While I have breath,
while I have life,
while I have life,
I will be for you, my King.
For you, my King, will be for